First, we will take a look at school infrastructure here in America and how it's crumbling as support for school construction and other maintenance are long overdue. Now, coupled with COVID concerns, what measures are schools taking as millions head back to the classroom this fall? RT producer Roselle Reyes reports.
Guess who received a D+ on their report card? America's public schools when it comes to infrastructure. Millions of students attempting to learn in buildings that are run down, overcrowded, and unsafe. Even before the pandemic, some schools already pose health risks to students and staff and are in desperate need of maintenance, from poor air and water quality to mold to crumbling roofing. These conditions are even more common in schools with a high percentage of low-income students, who are frequently students of color. Fears are growing that as students head back to the classroom, there will be an even larger wave of COVID-19 as schools struggle to keep their buildings safe.
The American Society of Civil Engineers reports that 53% of public school districts report the need to update or replace multiple building systems. 41% of districts said more than half their schools need HVAC upgrades. 40% of schools don't have a long-term facilities plan. 31% of school systems have portable facilities, and 16% of districts have not assessed their buildings in more than 10 years. Local, state, and federal officials are scrambling over how to make schools safe in order to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. Schools need to be sufficiently disinfected, have better ventilation systems, and create ways for students to be socially distanced. According to the same report, $380 billion is needed to bring our public school infrastructure from a D+ grade to a B grade. Meanwhile, state capital funding for schools was down 31% between 2008 to 2017. That's equivalent to a $20 billion cut. One estimate puts the cost of ventilation system improvements alone at $72 billion. In an effort to modernize schools, the Biden administration proposed to invest more than $100 billion in America's school infrastructure, which would go a long way but wouldn't be enough to solve all the existing issues. The Senate has passed the infrastructure bill, but there may be some hurdles getting through the House, as Democrats seek an agreement on a larger plan for schools and families. So for now, while COVID relief funding has helped some schools adapt to the pandemic, the best way to keep students safe is this.
The best way to keep our schools safe, and we know how to do it, is to vaccinate everyone who can be vaccinated, vaccinate family members if children cannot yet be vaccinated, and then to follow the mitigation strategies in our school guidance, including masking in schools.
According to a survey, 82% of K-12 teachers say they are concerned about returning to in-person teaching this fall. 2/3 prefer to teach primarily remotely, and 77% worry about risking their own health. So with the pandemic not going anywhere anytime soon, to keep students relatively safe, maybe it's also time America does its homework on school facility conditions. Reporting for RT, I'm Roselle Reyes.